So I was just reading this review of this book called Democracy and Solidarity. And it brought to mind some things about our culture. And the author, James Davison Hunter, gives the argument that, I'll just read this quote. He's not arguing Americans don't want to come together. He's arguing we've lost the cultural resources that make coming together possible. And so then there's 5 key points of this book that this commentator, this review writer, the Bob Toon, maybe that's his name, wrote the review, and it's from Gospel Coalition, the Gospel Coalition. So, it's for those of us that are we need things simplified. I thought that maybe something that would help us understand why we cannot come together is to look at our incessant, unabated propensity to vilify. We have ceased to find nuance. We've ceased to find common ground. Because we don't have a ground. That's what the Proverbs Project was about, was finding that ground again. Because we're not going to find a ground or even a common ground if we are not grounded. You know what I mean? But have you ever been around a couple that was about to get a divorce and you saw that coming? They're fighting over everything. They've stopped listening. They're getting the kids to pick a side, which is traumatic and wrong. They're trying to gather their own resources. Probably the most destructive of all of this in our political climate is that we are wanting to take away rights from the other side. We are wanting to stop them from speaking. We are wanting to make everybody see that they're stupid because we don't have, what would be the motive for wanting somebody else, somebody on the outside, then when they start talking to other people about the other person, what would be the motive to tell somebody else about what this person is doing? Well, they want a team. They're not confident enough to hand divorce papers. They're so insecure they have to bring other people, and not to help, to organize a coalition against. So whether or not any of it's true. And I don't know if you've ever heard of this phrase. And I'm not saying that it's across the board always true, but normally divorces are a 50-50 thing. But it's like a train. If you're ever on the outside looking in, it's like a train that cannot be stopped. And that is our country right now. And so we've lost nuance. We've lost the ability to find common ground, mostly because we're shallow as the opposing side. I gotta say it, and we don't. We have bought into this. Finding a villain is better than finding because we're too lazy. Finding a solution. Finding a villain is way better than finding a solution. For example, just within this last couple of weeks or last week or whatever, RFK came out as saying that he supports abortion and he up to birth. And there was this clip that went around and I was like, I'm off this train. I'm off this train. I just can't. I have reasons, and it was over on Instagram, but there's just no way. There's no way I can do this. And I was really hurt, and I was, you know, it gave me pause, and it gave me, I was reassessing because I was totally on board. I'm donating to this campaign. I've never donated to a campaign in my life. So I was really, really on board. I had I made up a playlist of like 80 something songs. I'd written them before, but then, I just kind of compiled them, freedom-based songs and things like that. And I was like, there's just no way I can get over this mountain. And I felt like the ground like went out from underneath me. And I felt the Lord say, I will restore that ground. And so I just kept holding on. I just kept holding on, not to RFK Jr., to the Lord. I don't know what step you want me to take in front of me. I don't know what you want me to do. And I just thought, how can I unify people on this such a divisive issue? And it seems like he's taking a stand that is just, there's no way a militant pro-lifer is going to get on board with this. And what I mean by militant is that these babies are exalted above everything else. We break laws to save them, which, not all laws are moral. I get it. They carted the Jews off to the concentration camps under a legal system. So legality has nothing to do with morality. I'm just saying these are the kind of people that would invade homes, find out if you had an abortion, want to put you in jail. They're just really, and they're not settled in on the heart issue. And abortion, period, is a heart issue. It's a heart issue if you kill your wife or your kids. It's a heart issue. Now, there is something to be said about whether or not you would do this again, and there's something to be said about the cowardly way and the brutal way things were done, and there's something to be said for all manner of murder. There's something to be said of sending our kids overseas to fight endless wars against poor brown people that are like, what the fluff, get out of our country. Meanwhile, we have like whatever millions bases over there, and we don't allow them in our country. Come on. So do unto others as you would have done to you. That is, we are not drawing back to these fundamental truths that are found in Scripture. We are not applying them to our political sphere. And so all this book, I can't recommend it because I can't afford it, and I probably won't read it. But I think as Christians, if we put ourselves back on the rock, which is Jesus Christ, we would be able to see someone like RFK Jr., who started the publication Children's Health Defense, by the way, and has taken all these major polluters to court, and people that are, and has a plan to address our rampant diseases and chronic illnesses. There's enough he's doing to promote life and the safety of our children, and what he's already done to do this, that I am able to find that as the common ground, as long as he's like, I'm not going to do anything with Roe v. Wade. It's going to stay where it's at, in the grave. As long as that stays the same, I can, with a clean conscience, vote for him. I cannot, with a clean conscience, vote for somebody who started the COVID fiasco, who bombed more people than his predecessors, Trump, who said take the vaccine when it was poison and it's all coming out as poison. I can't do that. But what I can do is find common ground with someone who's already doing the work to liberate us from the hold these corporations and CDC and Big Pharma and all these people who want to control every aspect of our lives. He's already been doing the work to dismantle that. That is why I can endorse him. When we decide that the other side is no longer a threat to us because we know who we know, and that is Jesus Christ. The same before, today, tomorrow, the same. And we demand of ourselves to treat people as we want to be treated. We demand it of ourselves to treat people as we want to be treated. And we demand of ourselves 2 ears and 1 mouth to listen more than we talk. And we stop ourselves from this incessant need to vilify, this incessant need to blame, this incessant need, because this is just a mark of insecurity. This tells us that what we're standing on is not Christ. He is the cornerstone, not my opinions, not my political party, not my conservative values or liberal values, whatever. We dusted off the platform. I promise you, dust it off the platform, and we will be able to make enlightened decisions. We'll be able to treat others better than ourselves, as ourselves. Love them as ourselves. Love God. Love others as yourself. I promise. Peace out.